Hello, dear students, you are welcome back to STR, Shivarajan's teaching room. In the previous episode, we had discussed in detail about the male and female reproductive systems and mammary glands. Now, in this episode, today we are discussing about gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is the process of formation of gametes. Gametogenesis is the process of formation of gametes. Gametes are of two types, the male gametes and the female gametes. Male gamete is produced in the males and female gamete is produced in the females. And the male gamete is called sperm. The male gamete is called sperm. And the formation of sperms is called spermatogenesis. And the female gamete is called ovum, and the formation of ovum is called oogenesis. So gametogenesis can be of two types. What are they? Spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the process of formation of sperms. It takes place in males and it begins after puberty. And oogenesis is the process of formation of ovum. It takes place in females and it begins after puberty. So gametogenesis is the process of formation of gametes. It's of two types, spermatogenesis and oogenesis. And in this episode, we are discussing in detail about the spermatogenesis. So spermatogenesis takes place in males and leads to the production of sperms. See, when we had discussed the structure of testis, we had learned that the testis is having 250 compartments. The testis is having 250 compartments. Each compartment is called a testicular lobule, and in each testicular lobule there is 1 to 3 highly coiled tubes called seminiferous tubules. Like this. The seminiferous tubules is having two types of cells lined inside the lumen. So the seminiferous tubules are having two types of cells. What are they? Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells and male germ cells. The male germ cells develop into sperms. The male germ cells develop into sperms. And the Sertoli cells nourish the developing sperms that we have learned then. Today, in spermatogenesis, we'll begin with the male germ cell. So what is male germ cells? There are two types of cells in the seminiferous tubules. One is Sertoli cells and second is male germ cells. Male germ cells develop into sperms and Sertoli cells nourish the developing sperms that we have studied. See, the male germ cells are otherwise called spermatogonia. The male germ cells are otherwise called spermatogonia. The spermatogonia are diploid cells. The spermatogonia are diploid cells. That means these cells are having 46 chromosomes. The ploidy is diploid and we'll write it as 2n. So the male germ cells are otherwise called spermatogonia. They are diploid cells. These cells undergo mitosis repeatedly and they multiply in number. The spermatogonia or the male germ cells undergoes mitosis. What is mitosis? Mitosis is a type of cell division where one mother cell divides into two daughter cells, and in both the daughter cells the chromosome number will be the same as in the mother cell. So chromosome number, there is no change in the chromosome number in the daughter cells produced by mitosis that we know. So the male germ cells of spermatogonia undergo mitosis repeatedly and they increase in number. See, one cell with 4 chromosomes I have taken as an example, and the 4 chromosome is diploid. So this cell divides into 2, multiplies. Again, both the cells divides into 2. So one cell has become 2, 2 cells have become 4, then 4 becomes 8, 16, 33, it goes on like that. So this male germ cells of spermatogonia undergoes mitosis repeatedly and increases in number. And some of these cells, some of these spermatogonia enter into meiosis. Some of the spermatogonia enter into meiosis. What is meiosis? Meiosis is the cell division where the chromosome number is reduced to half in the daughter cells. So 2n will be reduced to n. So 46 chromosomes will be reduced to 23 chromosomes in the daughter cells. Here in this example, the 4 chromosomes is treated as 2n. So the daughter cells will be having 2 chromosomes, that is n number of chromosomes. So meiosis is a type of cell division where the chromosome number is reduced to half in the daughter cells. See, the male germ cells undergoes mitosis repeatedly and they increase in number. And some of the spermatogonia enter into meiosis. And the meiosis, meiosis has 2 steps, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. In meiosis 1, the diploid cell divides into 2 haploid cells, and that is the meiosis 1. Then during meiosis 2, both the haploid cells once again divide into 2, that means producing 4 cells, 4 haploid cells. That is meiosis 2. See, some of the cells that goes into meiosis are called the primary spermatocyte. So what's a primary spermatocyte? Those spermatogonia which enter into meiosis are called a primary spermatocyte. So what is the ploidy primary spermatocyte? It is diploid. And as a result, 2 haploid cells are produced. And these haploid cells are called a secondary spermatocyte. The secondary spermatocyte continues meiosis 2 and produces a total number of 4 haploid cells, and they are called spermatids. And the spermatids develop into sperms. So what happens here? The male germ cells or spermatogonia repeatedly undergoes mitosis and increases in number. Some of these spermatogonia undergo meiosis first and 2 haploid cells are produced. These haploid cells are called the secondary spermatocytes. The secondary spermatocytes complete meiosis 2 and produces a total number of 4 haploid cells, and these haploid cells are called spermatids. And the spermatids are undeveloped sperms. The spermatids are undeveloped sperms. And what happens to these spermatids? The spermatids are having a head and a tail-like portion like this. It is not fully developed sperm. This head of the spermatid gets embedded in the Sertoli cells. So suppose this is a Sertoli cell. The head of the spermatid gets into this. See, this is it. This is the spermatid. This is the Sertoli cell. And this is the tail of the spermatid, and the head is already inside of the cell. So the spermatids get embedded. The spermatids get embedded in the Sertoli cells and takes nourishment and develop into sperms. That process is called spermiogenesis. So what is spermiogenesis? Spermiogenesis is the process by which the heads of the spermatids get embedded in the Sertoli cells and develop into sperms. That is spermiogenesis. After spermiogenesis, when the sperms are developed, what happens? Due to the activity of LH, luteinizing hormone, these sperms get released from the Sertoli cells, and that releasing of sperms from the Sertoli cells is called spermiation. So what is spermiogenesis? The spermatids get embedded in the Sertoli cells and they develop into fully developed sperms receiving nourishment from the Sertoli cells. That process is called spermiogenesis. And after spermiogenesis, that means after the development of the sperms, they are to be released from the Sertoli cells. So the releasing of the sperms from the Sertoli cells is called a spermiation. So the sperms have come out. So this is spermogenesis. What is spermogenesis? The male germ cells or spermatogonia enter into mitosis repeatedly and produces or increases in number. Some of the cells get into meiosis, and those cells are called the primary spermatocyte. And after meiosis 1, 2 haploid cells are produced. They are called the second spermatocytes. The second spermatocytes complete meiosis 2 and 4 haploid cells are formed. They are the spermatids. And the spermatids get embedded in the Sertoli cells and develop into sperms, receiving nourishment from the Sertoli cells, and that process is called spermogenesis. And after spermogenesis, the sperms get released from the Sertoli cells, and this releasing of sperms from the Sertoli cells is called the spermiation. So now the sperms are produced, and it is produced in the seminiferous tubules. From the seminiferous tubules, these sperms move into the retracted testes, and from there it moves into the vasa efferentia, and from there it comes and gets stored in the epididymis, and in the epididymis they become matured sperms, and from there they migrate or move into the vas deferens and goes to the ejaculatory duct. So after formation of the sperms, you see the sperms are produced in these seminiferous tubules. After formation of the sperms, what happens? The sperms move from the seminiferous tubules into the retracted testes. From the retracted testes, it moves into the vasa efferentia, and from there it comes to the epididymis and gets stored there. In the epididymis, the sperms get fully matured, and from there it moves into the vas deferens and moves to the ejaculatory duct. That is the flowchart of movement of sperms that we had seen there. So this is about the spermatogenesis. Now we have to see the structure of a sperm that we will see in the next episode. So for the time being, bye.